the case of the interviews to be done and online to be done, in fact, already MPSC is examining this, and this is part of the reforms that the MPSC has planned and worked on. So, depending on those recommendations that come from their side, we will definitely approve it. So now this is all part of the reforms of what MPSC has to do. MPSC is a kind of autonomous body, so their reforms have to come from internally from their side. But definitely, yes, there is no reason why the interviews cannot be made online and cannot be videography cannot be done. So these reforms, as I said, but we don't want to do the reforms on a piecemeal basis. Let there be the reforms done once and for all aspects be examined, which is what they're doing. And as soon as the recommendation comes, we will definitely approve.
So, pertaining to the MCH, is the hospital right now currently being able to cater to the needs, really medical needs of the people? For instance, surgeons, pediatric surgeons, are they available right now?
Yeah. So the issue is like this, which I mentioned earlier in my speech itself, that we know that there is a shortage of manpower. It's not just in Jowai; it's all over the state. Let me give you a small background so that you are all aware of what's happening. For the last 4 years, we have been working with MPSC and trying MPSC to have examinations and interview processes for the selection of the doctors to fill up the different posts. And since 2017-18, there has been a huge delay in the actual appointment of teachers through the appointment of doctors and specialists to the MPSC, to the extent that under 3F and under contractual basis, because of the pressure, we had to appoint. And that's when we took a call as a cabinet that since MPSC is overloaded, they want to do it, but they also have too many exams and too many posts to fill up. That's why we started to disintegrate the whole thing, and we started to allow the different boards now to come in, and that's why this medical board has been put in. I'm sure that the medical board has told us, or the department in fact has told us, that this medical board will very, very soon, we expect maybe 2 to 3 months time, they will be able to fill up almost all the posts, depending on, of course, availability of qualified people, which more than at least 70-80%, 100% will be there. 70-80% will be there. So we expect them that they'll be able to fill up, and once those areas are filled up, then we will, as the manpower comes in all locations, Jowai, Bakmara, Risu, in all places, Nongstoin, there is a huge shortage of manpower. But I'm sure that this recruitment process that we have now shifted from MPSC to the medical recruitment board will enable us now to get the doctors so that we can fill up all these posts.
So the lack of government doctors who underwent their MBBS through quota, they've been resigning, surrendering their bonds. So is there any chances of increasing the amount of the bond?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much it is, but I think it's about 50 lakhs,
50.
like 50 lakhs plus, I think it is. So that's quite a large amount. But yes, if the health department and the board feels that it should be increased, we can definitely examine it. But I can't say right now that we will, but we can examine the matter.
So, two more. Two more questions. One is like the people of Jowai town, they are saying that the laying of the foundation stone of MCH, it's just for...
It's not laying foundation, it's inauguration.
Inauguration of the MCH. It's part of the election propaganda or whatever campaign.
Yeah.
So, are you willing to visit the hospital today to see as to how well equipped is the hospital right now?
I have visited the MCH twice already. Today, as I said, I have a very big program. Almost about 5,000 farmers are waiting for me in Milim right now. And I'm supposed to be there by 1 o'clock. So that is a problem. After that, as I said, there's a huge call center that has to be inaugurated in Maudendiyam in the IT park. And hence, though, as you said, I would love to have visited, but since my schedule is very packed, I may not be able to go. But I will definitely ask the local MLA to go and visit and submit me a report. I've already told him also, and I've given my speech also, that all that is required to be able to make this MCH totally functional in 100% capacity, we as a government and I as a Chief Minister, I'm assuring that all the support will be given. But also, let me just put it also in very simple terms. You see, nothing happens in one day. It's a process. We keep moving forward. If we wait for everything to be 100%, then we will not be able to start everything. anything. So therefore, it is important that we make the start, important that we work together, important that we are positive about things. And yes, there will be criticisms from people. That's fine. That's how that's how things are. But as I said in my speech, we're very clear about our intentions, and we will make sure that all the support required to IMCH is given to make it 100% functional.